Lori Harvey decided to venture into the adult industry a bit, and Steve is out here losing it. Word on the street is that Lori's been making major moves behind the scenes, and not the kind her stepdaddy would approve of. Rumors are swirling that she's been cashing in on some grown folk content, and let's just say, Steve is not happy about it. You'll already know how protective he is over Lori's image, so if this tea is true, best believe he's about to go off. So it looks like Steve Harvey and his favorite daughter Lori might be at odds again, and this time it's over her new steamy Playboy cover. The streets are saying Steve is not here for it, and honestly, we can't blame him because this cover... Woo! Now, Lori has already been a hot topic for years, mostly because of her dating history. Sis has finessed some of the most eligible bachelors in Hollywood, and the drama has been so messy that people have even accused Steve of pimping her out. But judging by his reaction, if anybody's been making those moves, it's been Lori herself. Word is, Steve is losing it over her decision, especially since there are rumors that Lori might even be selling some extra spicy pics on the side. And that begs the question, why is Lori doing all this? Did she really go broke after Damson Idris dumped her? Because let's be real, Playboy was not on our 2025 bingo card for Lori. Now, if there's one thing we know about Playboy shoots, they are not for the shy girls. Even though we haven't seen the full spread yet, the sneak peeks alone got the people talking. Some folks don't get why Lori got into this type of stuff to begin with. She comes from a well-off family, and we all know what Playboy is associated with. One person said, "She is a beautiful young lady, but I don't understand the need to pose for Playboy, especially when you are financially stable." And another one asked why this magazine and not some other. Is it that Steve Harvey can't pull any strings or what? Lori baby, what is we doing? You dad can't hook you up with Allure, Vogue, Glamour magazine spread. Let's face it, when that video first dropped, fans immediately started pointing fingers at Steve Harvey, accusing him of pushing Lori into doing stuff like this, even if it's not what she really wants. And if you've been keeping up, you already know this isn't the first time people have speculated that Steve has been the mastermind behind Lori's very high-profile love life. Like, how does she always seem to be in the right place at the right time to link up with Hollywood's most eligible bachelors? It's been a long-standing rumor that Steve was out here strategically placing her in these circles, making sure she stays relevant through her relationships. And for a while, this theory actually made sense because, let's be real, Lori's love life has always overshadowed her siblings. Even Steve's biological daughters don't get a fraction of the attention she does. And of course, that's caused some tension in the Harvey household. According to insiders, while Steve did the right thing adopting Marjorie's kids and treats them like his own, there's been a lot of jealousy behind the scenes. The other kids allegedly feel some type of way about Lori being the most famous out of all of them, constantly stealing the spotlight with her A-list romances. And if you've ever noticed how much time Steve spends with just Lori, like all those daddy-daughter dates, yeah, it's giving favorite child energy, and the rest of the family definitely sees it. Steve's favoritism toward Lori isn't just a theory. His other kids have straight up called him out for it. His son Broderick even admitted that he didn't really have a relationship with Steve until he was about 15 or 16. Imagine that, your own dad barely being in your life for years, and then suddenly stepping in when you're almost grown. And it's not just Brack. Steve literally didn't even bother showing up to his own daughter's graduation. Like, make it make sense. And when it comes to Marjorie's other two kids, yeah, Steve legally adopted them. But let's be real, Lori is clearly the golden child. She's always been the favorite, and the way he hypes her up makes it painfully obvious. Whether she's landing modeling deals, dating A-list men, or making a statement on the red carpet, Steve is right there, smiling for the cameras and backing her every move. Meanwhile, his other kids, they barely get a mention. It's no surprise they're feeling some type of way about it. And those father-daughter outings? At first they seemed cute, but now people are questioning if Steve was really just bonding with his stepdaughter, or strategically placing her in certain circles. And speaking of elite circles, Lori has had her pick of high-profile men: Future, Michael B. Jordan, and most recently, Damson Idris. When she and Michael B. Jordan went public in late 2020, people thought she won the lottery. I mean, he was people's sexiest man alive, a Hollywood A-lister, and had never been this publicly booed up before.
Wait, we gotta get that one.
Over here.
Someone's got to get it right there.
Why?
No. I was not.
It's so cold.
They gave us picture-perfect moments, luxury vacations, matching outfits, and expensive gifts. Michael even rented out a whole aquarium for her. Folks were convinced that wedding bells were around the corner. But then, June 2022 rolled around, and just like that, they were done. Word on the street was that Michael was ready to settle down, but Lori, not so much. Fans clowned the situation, joking that Lori's subscription to MBJ had expired, and Steve was the one who blocked the renewal because he had bigger plans for her.
Coming out of, that situation, not to give it, any energy and kind of move from that is, it was an experience for me to grow. And learn.
Coming out of that situation, and right on cue, Lori popped out with Damson Idris.
She's in London with her husband.
By January 2023, Lori and Damson were Instagram official. All it took was one story of him kissing her on the cheek for the streets to get the message. But something about this relationship just felt off. The public moments were scarce, and fans weren't really convinced they had that real chemistry. Yeah, they showed up to a few red carpets together, but by November 2023, it was a wrap. Then the whispers started. Word on the street was that their entire relationship was just a PR stunt. Allegedly, Steve orchestrated the whole thing to keep Lori's name in the headlines while giving Damson a much-needed publicity boost. A win-win, right? But at some point, you gotta wonder, was Lori in on these PR relationships, or was Steve pulling the strings behind the scenes? These rumors got even louder when Lori dated Diddy, and the internet lost its mind. Lori was 22 at the time, and Diddy was pushing 50. That's almost a 28-year age gap. People were already side-eyeing the situation, but it got even messier when folks realized Diddy had known Lori since she was a teenager. He and Steve ran in the same circles, not as besties, but enough for Diddy to know Lori when she was still a minor. So for him to turn around and date her once she was grown, it raised a lot of eyebrows. So as we all know, Diddy is currently in a world of trouble. The walls are closing in, and the legal heat he's facing is no joke. Multiple lawsuits, shocking allegations, and even federal agencies reportedly investigating him. It's all looking real bad. And the fact that Lori managed to separate herself from him before all this went down, that might have been one of the best decisions she's ever made. If she had still been linked to him when all this mess came to light, the headlines would have been brutal. But instead, Lori has kept it pushing, staying booked, busy, and far away from the drama. Say what you want about her dating history, but one thing about Lori, she knows when to exit a situation before it blows up in her face. It's actually kinda wild looking back, because at the time, people were side-eyeing her for getting involved with Diddy in the first place, especially given that bizarre age gap. But now, people are just glad she got out before things got really ugly. And let's not forget the wildest rumor of all, that Lori allegedly dated both Diddy and his son. Now Lori shut that all the way down, denying she ever dated father and son. But even though she's tried to keep quiet about her personal life, fans have always blamed Steve for her dating history, assuming he was forcing her into these relationships. But now with this new Playboy photo shoot and rumors that Steve was not happy about it, people are starting to rethink everything. Because if he's really the mastermind behind Lori's career, why would he be so against her making a major Playboy debut? And this isn't just any photo shoot. Lori's feature is reportedly a huge deal, since it'll be Playboy's first physical copy in 5 years, with a massive rollout planned. That means we're about to see some very racy pics of Lori, and if Steve was uncomfortable over that innocent photo of her and Michael B. Jordan, just imagine how he's feeling now. But here's where things get even messier. Some folks think Lori did this because she's going broke. Now, we don't know for sure, but let's be real. She hasn't been making waves lately. No new endorsements. Her skincare brand SKN by LH has been awfully quiet, and the brand's social media has been crickets for months. If money's tight, this Playboy deal might explain why she went through with it. So, did we misjudge Steve this whole time? Or is there still more to this story? Let us know what you'll think in the comments. And while you're here, go check out this next video because trust me, you don't want to miss it.